So you mentioned that there a War of the Worlds trailer with Ice Cube, and I initially thought you were joking because I was like, that cannot be a thing. That seriously is not a thing. But I looked, and lo and behold, it actually is a thing.
My God.
Listen, you brought this on yourself. You mentioned this. Now we got to take a look at that.
Oh, okay, yeah, let's look at it. I've heard stories, right, about it, and I guess it just like kind of came out of. I mean, I didn't even know this actually got released a few days ago, the actual movie. But I don't know if I could stomach watching the movie. But it's kind of yeah, I guess we're a little bit behind, but it felt like everything was kind of just thrown out there very quickly to everybody. So yeah.
Well, hey, for every good TV show that comes out there, there's going to be a really shitty one, right? So
yes, Amazon. What you doing? Okay, we got Ice Cube.
See, you took the Sunday graveyard shift again. Dad, when's the last time you left the office?
That's classified.
Feel like he's not using his job responsibilities very appropriately, right?
Well, besides it being
Surveillance
miscast,
industrial complex is collecting massive amounts
yeah.
of data with the Goliath program.
I thought they would have gotten Jeffrey Wright or someone.
The precious resource on Earth is data.
I don't know. Seeing the quality of this, I think that might not have been
And
the
data
play.
is food for the superior intelligence.
Oh.
Dad, have you seen this? Have you seen this?
No, I can't see this because you're like running with your
Can
face
you tell
in the
yet what they're
camera.
comprised of?
No, sir. I've never seen anything like this.
No, Ava
He's living in
Longoria.
Spain now.
Ava Longoria's up there too.
Eyewitness video is coming in from all over the world.
No, come on!
Terrifying scenes rising out of these meteors.
Come on, Amazon!
Get away from that!
You got the Tom Cruise one, right?
Yeah.
So much better than this. Oh, that's bad. Oh no!
Thank you. It actually does summarize it pretty good.
I'm coming for you now!
Like, my gosh, like, how long ago did the Tom Cruise one come out?
That was like early 2000s, man.
Oh my God, like, that came out decades ago, and that looks better than this. And you know what? I would bet my bottom dollar, and I'm not seen the movie yet, and I probably will just to see how bad it is.
I mean, hey, you saw Ironheart already, so why not watch this one?
That's a good point. That's a good point. So, but like just watching it, I would bet my bottom dollar Ice Cube never leaves that room. Right?
I mean,
I feel like he's gonna be the command center the whole time because they're like, hey, we got Ice Cube for this. Let's just like give him some green screen backdrop and we'll just plop him in there, and that's where he's going to be for the whole film. So,
well, I was gonna say it's kind of like with what was it, Godzilla versus Kong, where those kids spend most of the time in the underground bunker with that conspiracy theorists. That's what it made me think of. It's like it's like the main characters are staying in one spot while the action occurs, everywhere else. And as abhorrent as it looks, I will say at least Ice Cube made the smart choice of actually just staying where he was.
Yeah, geez, they're just like, hey man, I'm sure they're like, hey, we got Ice Cube for 2 days. What can we do with them? It's just like, I don't know, let's just put him in front of a screen and we'll just have him like narrate or talk about what's going on behind the scenes. Because yeah, the War of the Worlds with Tom Cruise, right? I'm sure there's other ones out there. I'm sorry if there's other iterations that I'm missing.
But that's the most famous one.
Sure, right? That came out over 2 decades ago, and that looked infinitely better than anything that we're seeing right now. And that's like concerning to me, especially coming from, I mean, this is on Amazon, right? This is the company that's, how much money have they thrown at the Lord of the Rings show, right? That everybody's been pretty much like going on and on about. That looks gorgeous, but everything else is a total disaster.
Yeah, it's the Michael Bay effect, really.
Yeah,
you're relying on special effects.
It's just pathetic. Right now, sitting at a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes. Doesn't come as any surprise. But yeah.
But I mean, let me ask you this, because we saw this when we did our reaction to the Tron Ares trailer a few weeks ago. It sounds like they're trying to make it all relevant, in today's concerns. Because with Tron Ares, it was all about, oh, AI is scary, isn't tech scary? And here it's like, oh, data breaches are scary, isn't that because they feed on your data? And I'm like, what the fuck does this have to do with alien invasions?
Yeah, and like my whole thing is right, and the War of the Worlds, right, and Luca, you could definitely help back me up on this if I'm totally off base, but
I did read the book, so
exactly right, and I feel like the books have a whole lot, like I feel like that carries a lot, right, like that's like one of the like really big sci-fi related books that's out there, and the only thing that I see when I see something like this, it's, to me, I feel like they're trying to keep some type of rights, right? Because there's no way that you're going to take something as big as that book, right? And something as big as what the Tom Cruise movie is, and you're going to sit out here and you're going to put out that's the product that you put out. That's just shameful. I can't imagine that it's anything other than like, hey, we have the rights for it, and I guess there's like some type of agreement behind the scenes that we need to keep these rights somehow by producing a movie, and this is what they did. Because I can't in good faith understand how Amazon could sit there, green light this, and it comes out looking the way it's looking right now.
Well, I mean, the book was written over 100 years ago, so
Sure.
keep that in mind. And at that time, they were dealing with a lot of changes, in the world. Because obviously, the 20th century, that's when we saw a lot of things go haywire, like mechanized warfare and everything. So what H.G. Wells was doing was kind of creating a metaphor by using these alien invaders from Mars as a template for telling us what's going on in the world. You can still tell that story and still make it relevant. You don't have to add in the subtext of data breach and AI and all that crap in order to get people interested.
Yeah, and I feel like if you're going to adapt something, right, and you brought up a great point, right, because I think sometimes because of the time frame something's in, you do have to change it sometimes to fit what we're doing nowadays, right? Because what happened when H.G. Wells was writing this is obviously not going to be, the same thing that, we're seeing nowadays, right? But my gosh, I feel like that's a very famous book, right? Like from, H.G. Wells, a very famous science fiction novelist, and you're going to sit there and you're going to produce this. It just feels like a slap in the guy's face for something like that. So I don't know what they're thinking. As I said, my tinfoil hat conspiracy is that Amazon had the rights or had some type of rights, and this was how they kept it under Amazon, because they clearly don't care about what they put on the screen when they were making this, because it just came out looking terrible.
Well, if you're excited about what Amazon's putting out, they did bring in Stephen Knight to write the next James Bond movie, so that should be interesting.
Yeah, and then we'll have to sit here and listen to all the rumors over who's going to be the next James Bond. So. But
I can't wait until that comes out, and then we basically spend the next hour or so just like tearing it apart and just saying, well, obviously Amazon doesn't understand what's going on with Bond, because really I get the feeling that Amazon doesn't really understand the source material at all. I mean, look what they did with Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, they're just pissing away money.
But hey, I mean, if you're making money, delivering crap to people every single day, because we see those Amazon delivery drivers out every single day, just delivering shit, and you get those notifications saying, hey, we found a special deal for you. This thing you're looking for, it's like 10% off. Don't you want it? And you stupidly go for it because, hey, it's 10% off. Sure, I mean, if they're making money hand over fist, they can afford to spend billions and billions of dollars and put out a subpar product.
But at least for me, right, as much as I'm not a fan of the Ring of Power, right, never, it's the one thing I can say that's a positive for it. Visually, it looks amazing, right? Like everything, like you could see that the people that were working on, at least from the visual effects world, they have poured so much time and effort into it. It's such a shame that it feels like you got, the writing staff off of like, I don't know, Facebook or something like that, because clearly you had no writing staff coming in to support this. But at least visually, it looks really good. So I know something was put into this. When I look at that War of the Worlds trailer, I don't know what you're putting anything into, right? Like you got Ice Cube, and I saw Ava Longoria in it. So I'm not sure what you're doing with your casting. Obviously, the visual effects look like you do it in Microsoft Paint nowadays. So I have literally no idea what you're trying to accomplish with this. So
do you know what? I was gonna say, do you know what kind of reminds me of? Because you remember during the pandemic when everything had to be done over Zoom, it feels like someone decided, let's go ahead and make a movie over Zoom, and we'll just use Adobe Premiere and After Effects, and bam, there's your movie. Because it literally felt like everybody was on Zoom and they were just filming their scenes, and then they just figured we'll just assemble it together and we'll just take a very well-known IP, and bam, there's your movie. You're 3 years too late, by the way, if that's your philosophy.
Yeah, it seemed like such an odd choice, because it's like when you think of a trailer, right? The trailer's supposed to really represent kind of the highlights of the film, right? Like,
yeah,
you're really looking at that. So when I see the highlights and I see Ice Cube is just spending most of his time behind a desk, and he's like, "Whoa!" I like how I'm guessing it's his son or someone's like, "Whoa, do you see what's going on?" And I'm like, no, we don't. We don't see what's going on, because Ice Cube's just trapped in a room, and I don't think I saw a single clip in that trailer.
Well, he's in quarantine, because in their mind, it's still 2021. So.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that'd be funny. It's just like we're sitting there, it's just like, oh yeah, I got a quarantine, so that's why I can't leave my room. And that's the excuse they have for keeping Ice Cube away for a while.
So Lee, if you are foolish enough to watch War of the Worlds, can you just let me know if all the actors are practicing social distancing?
Dude, I will absolutely know, because I feel like I have no choice but to watch this abomination just to see how bad it is. And I think the only reason I even care that much is because it's produced by Amazon. This is not to say like, oh, everything Amazon does is great, right? Because we've already spent plenty of time sitting here joking about the Ring of Power. But I mean, you would think a company that has the resources that has available, there'd be some of that I could tell is on the screen, right? But this looks like something, a very small director, a very small team would put together with very limited resources. And it's just like, that feels very counterintuitive to what I would hope to get from something like Amazon. So I think that's what sticks out to me the most out of all that.
Well, let us know down in the comments below what your thoughts are. Do you think War of the Worlds was made, was shot to look like it was during the pandemic times, or are you just interested in seeing it because Ice Cube is in it, and you think it's hilarious that Ice Cube has been cast as some sort of IT guy? Not that we're being judgmental. Ice Cube can do whatever he wants. But other than that, thanks for tuning in. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Take it easy, guys.